Hello, good evening. Welcome once again to Wangos English Hub. I still remain your English language coach, Wangos Sumaila, and today we'll be looking at something very interesting. We'll be looking at sentence interpretation, which is heavily related to idiomatic expressions in English language. Um, Most students actually run away from idiomatic expressions, but eventually they realize that they cannot escape from it. And when they come face to face with it in the exam hall, they get confused and stranded. Um, it's an interesting topic that you can easily maneuver your way. All you just need to do is take out time, study, find out the meaning to each sentence, and you are good to go. In time past, our parents employed the use of idiomatic expressions a lot, proverbs, and the rest. And funny enough, we uh, do comprehend all the messages they intend to pass across to us. I know a lot of people are looking at the complexity of idioms, and no, it's not actually complex. The same effort and energy you put in understanding other topics in biology, chemistry, physics, civic, government, and the rest is the same energy and effort you can still put in understanding idiomatic expressions. So, don't run away from it, because if you do, you will definitely face it someday. So, without wasting time, we'll be looking at some of the questions we have for today. We have our instructions on the screen. After each of the following sentences, a list of possible interpretations of the sentence is given. Choose the interpretation that you consider appropriate for each sentence. So, for every given sentence, there on for every given sentence, we will be looking at the interpretation to that sentence. So let's move straight to our questions for the day. Question 23. When asked to state her side of the story, Bumi started by beating about the bush. This means that Bumi went straight to the point. That's option A. Option B was lost in great thought. Option C, followed the bush path. And option D, approached the subject without coming to the point. Now, the best option to that sentence, Bumi started by beating about the bush. That is our sentence, or that's our given sentence. Bumi started by beating about the bush. Now, the best interpretation for that sentence is option D. Bumi approached the subject without coming to the point. Now, when we talk about beating about the bush, we are talking about not being straightforward, not going straight to the point. And definitely option A is not our answer. Option B is not our answer. She wasn't lost in great thought. Option C, she didn't follow a bush path. Rather, she approached the subject without coming to the point. That is what it means to beat about the bush. Now, the next question, the amount he donated was small. He said it was his widow's mite. This means that A, he was a widow. B, he was miserly. C, it was all he could honestly afford. And D, he could have given more. Now, a lot of people, particularly those from the Christian faith, will be familiar with the word widow's mite. When you link it to the story of the widow who gave her all. Yes. So, what is our answer? Our answer is definitely option C. It was all he could honestly afford. The widow gave her all she had, all she could afford. I believe that is where the statement widow's mite came or was extracted from. So when we say widow's mite, we mean that this is actually all one can afford at that particular time. So definitely it is not option A. He is not a widow. A man cannot be a widow. A man is only referred to as a widower. Now, B is definitely not the option. He was not trying to be stingy. No, he was not trying to be stingy. D is not also the interpretation. He was not stating that he could have given more. Rather, he was only stating that this is all he could honestly afford at that particular time. Now, our next question: the friendship between Shegun and Shehu has turned sour. The friendship between Shegun and Shehu has turned sour. This means that Shegun and Shehu are A. no longer friends, B. still friends, C. better friends now, and D. getting to understand each other. Now, when we say something has gone sour, definitely it means there is a problem. Is that not so? So, our answer there is definitely option A. no longer friends. Their friendship has gone sour. This means that they are no longer friends. They've had issues, probably irreconcilable issues, and therefore they are no longer friends. So our answer is A. When you say a friendship has gone sour, it's definitely not B, still friends. A friendship cannot go sour and then still have friendship running between those people. It's rare. It's rare. So it's actually not C, and at the same time, it is not D. So our answer is A. Shehu and Shegun are no longer friends because their friendship has gone sour. Now, question 26. The driver smelled a rat when the police asked him to stop. Wow, smelled a rat. Now, this means that the driver was A. reckless, B. suspicious, C. careful, D. offensive. So, what does it mean to smell a rat? It definitely means to be suspicious. When I say I smell a rat, it means I am suspicious. I'm suspecting something. So our answer is B, suspicious. The driver wasn't reckless. The driver wasn't careful. The driver wasn't offensive. So the right answer or the right interpretation to the sentence, the driver smelled a rat when the police asked him to stop, is that the driver was suspicious when the police asked him to stop. Now, question 27 states that the students were advised, the students were as advised to face their studies and let the sleeping dog lie. Let the sleeping dog lie. I believe a lot of people must have come across that statement. Just let the sleeping dog lie. Wow. Does it mean we should allow our dogs to lie and keep sleeping? No. So what is actually our answer? We have option A, obey authorities, B, organize them properly, C, leave matters as they are now, and D, be as watchful as sleeping dogs. Now, our answer is C, leave matters as they are now. When you are told to let sleeping dog lie, you are actually asked to let matters be as they are. Okay? So, I will advise let the sleeping dog lie. Don't wake it up. It could be troublesome. So it's definitely not obeying authorities. That's not the interpretation of let sleeping dog lies or lie. It is not to organize them properly. It is not to be as watchful as sleeping dogs. I can just imagine how watchful a sleeping dog could be. Definitely not watchful. Never. Now, question 28. From the way Ngozi behaves, it is obvious she is a greenhorn. This means that Ngozi is... Oh, I know a lot of you are quite aware of the statement, a green snake under a green grass. Well, this is quite different from that. Here we have a greenhorn. So what does it mean to be a greenhorn? A, arrogant. B, cautious. C, inexperienced. And D, uncivilized. Our answer is inexperienced. C is the answer, inexperienced. Ngozi behaves like a greenhorn. Definitely, she is behaving like one who is not experienced. So she is inexperienced. Now, 29. The economic situation is so bad that many wage earners are hardly able to make both ends meet. The economic situation is bad that many wage earners are hardly able to make both ends meet. This means that A, people's income exceeds their expenditure. Wow, that's dangerous. B, most people are extravagant with their income. Definitely, a lot of people are. C, people's earnings are not sufficient for their essential needs. And D, most people engage in activities that bring them extra pay. So, when we say that someone is not able to make both ends meet, it simply means that that person is not having sufficient to meet his or her essential needs. So therefore, our answer is option C. People's earnings are not sufficient for their essential needs. So when you are unable to make both ends meet, it's obvious that your income is not sufficient to meet your needs. I trust that we are following and we are actually learning. There's something I do tell my students. There are a lot of things that I won't actually teach you how to do it. For example, when it comes to letter writing, I will not tell you the words to use in writing. Rather, I will teach you how you can go about writing. For example, I can teach you how you need to write your addresses, where you need to place your addresses, where your date should be captured, if it is a formal letter, where your salutation should be, how you should write your title. Okay? Then I could also teach you how to break down your body of the letter, your complementary clause, and the rest. However, I may not give you word for word on what to actually write. What you need to write largely depends on your creativity and your knowledge of the subject matter you're actually writing on. Okay? However, it is not different with this topic. The best way to deal with these topics is to actually study on it, get to know a lot of these expressions and what they mean. If possible, use them in your daily interaction with friends and family members. This way, you will be able to get familiar with them, which will be very helpful to you. So let's move forward. Question 30. Since I found out his hypocritical nature, I have been keeping him at arm's length. This means that I A. avoid being similar with him, B. ignore his advice, C. report him to the authority, D. stop visiting him. Now, there's a little error with this words used there. When I looked at that word, I believe option A should be familiar, not similar. You tend to find such situations with past questions where some words are not properly captured or a few errors, and even sometimes some questions might not actually be correct. So, and even the answers too may not be the correct answer for the questions given. So, here we have avoid being similar. For me, it's avoid being familiar with him, which is our answer. The question states that since I found out his hypocritical nature, I have been keeping him at arm's length. This means that I avoid being familiar with him. It is not B, it is not C, and it is not D. The answer is A, avoid being familiar with him. Now, when you talk about keeping one at arm's length, it simply means to keep a distance, not to allow that person to be close to you. Okay? Now, question 31. I knew Okonkwo's father very well, and I must say that his son is a chip of the old block. His son is a chip of the old block. This means that Okoronkwo A has chosen the game career as his father. B is very much like his father. C is probably an extremely different sort of a person from his father. And D has taken up a different profession from his father's. Now the answer is what? B. The answer is B. Is very much like his father. When you say that someone is a chip of the old block, it means that person looks or is very much like the person you are referring him to or you're actually talking about. So, Okoronkwo is just like his father. I knew Okoronkwo's father very well, and I must say that his son is a chip of the old block. So, the son of Okoronkwo is definitely like his father, Mr. Okoronkwo. So, our answer there is B. Now, question 32. The debating team was warned to make convincing points and not to play to the gallery. Wow, playing to the gallery. A lot of us do that. We actually play to the gallery on a daily basis because we want to be noticed. Here, the students are being advised not to play to the gallery. So what does it mean to play to the gallery? To be selfish? No. To underrate opponents? No. To be overconfident? Definitely no. Attempt to win cheap popularity? Yes. That is the correct interpretation of playing to the gallery. So the debating team was warned to make convincing points and not to play to the gallery. Therefore, the students should not attempt to win cheap popularity. So our answer there is D. Now, question 33. Anyone who thinks that he can succeed in life without working hard is living in a fool's paradise. So, whoever thinks he can succeed in life without hard work is actually living in a fool's paradise. This means that such a person is A. is having an illusion, B. thinks other people are fools, C. thinks that working is merely a joke, and D. is on the verge of insanity. Now, our answer is A. When someone thinks that working hard is living, or okay, let's put it in this way. Let's go back to the question. Anyone who thinks that he can succeed in life without working hard is living in a fool's paradise. So anyone who thinks he can actually make it in life without working hard is actually living an illusion. He's living in a fool's paradise. Therefore, that person is having an illusion. That is what it means to live in a fool's paradise. You cannot succeed without hard work. You must work hard in life for you to succeed. Okay, we have come to the end of this class for today. Like I have said earlier, we cannot run away from idiomatic expressions, and the best way to know interpretations to sentences is to actually study those sentences and find out what they actually mean. This will go a long way to help us as students to be able to confront these questions when we find them in the exam hall. I still remain your English coach, Rango Samaila. Looking forward to seeing you in the next class as we look at another interesting topic. Feel free to drop your comment, ask questions. There's a statement that we always make: no one has the monopoly of knowledge. Yeah, we are all learning. I'm just sharing a little out of what I have learned over the years. So I trust that this will be helpful. This is not to say that I cannot make mistakes. Okay, I can. So feel free to ask questions, feel free to criticize, and feel free to also contribute. See you in my next video. Thank you and goodbye.